Tonight we have Katja Kort of Tallinn University joining us via Skype from the Estonian capital. Hi Katja, how are you?
Hello, I'm quite good, thank you.
Thank you. So, we saw this new president, Kersti Kaljulaid, selected via the parliament this past week. I mean, give us some background. Who is she, and what kind of background does she have, and what kind of policies can we expect from her going forward?
Okay. Well, she was not very well known for Estonian public. So after she was proposed to be elected to be a president of Estonia, people started to Google her. And I got to know that she studied biology. She has a degree in business management, and she worked as an investment expert in Estonian savings bank. And she was an advisor on economics for Estonian then Prime Minister Mart Laar. And also I was a director of a power plant, which is very unusual for a woman. And 12 years from now, she was elected to lead the European Court of Auditors, where she worked up to now, before she was elected to be a president. So her CV is really very impressive, as she is just 46-year-old and a mother of 4, and also already a grandma. Well,
in terms of policy, what can we expect, both foreign and domestic?
She's not a member of any political party, which could be also one of the strongest arguments why she was elected to be president. But she used to be a member of a right-wing party, Pro Patria and Respublica. But after starting working in the EU structures, she ended her membership. So ideologically, she probably supports right-wing ideas. Also, in her first interviews as a candidate for president, she brought out the need for fighting social inequality and support less secure groups, which rather suits to the agenda of social democrats. So if you mean her social political views, it's probably will be mixed.
When you say right-wing views, what exactly do you mean? Could you be more specific?
According to her interviews and her CV and her sayings in media, it will be probably right-wing liberal policy.
Great. So she won a unanimous vote in the parliamentary decision. I mean, were there any actual opposition candidates, or were there none really?
She was in the 5th round of the elections. Before there were indeed 6 candidates who went through the 4 rounds, and they didn't get enough, the majority of votes. So she was proposed the consensus candidate for the parliament. And she was elected by 81 votes out of 101. At least 68 votes were needed to elect a president in the parliament. And those 20 MPs who didn't vote may be considered as votes against her, as she was the only candidate proposed for this final round of the elections. Those who didn't vote were openly said that they wouldn't vote for her were nationalists, conservative People's Party members, and most likely some of the Center Party pro-Kremlin members. It's not the first time when pro-Kremlins and nationalists agree on something.
That's an interesting parallel. Do you see that in other aspects of Estonian politics where pro-Kremlin and far-right nationalists agree?
They are politics on minorities, sexual minorities, first of all. And there are some other that probably would be easily found, like, for example, migration issues in Europe.
So the previous president, Toomas Hendrik Ilves, he was fairly well known in Eastern Europe and the wider world for spending a lot of time very aggressively on foreign policy issues, particularly with Russia. I mean, was there any criticism within Estonia that he was spending too much time on foreign policy issues?
Yes, Toomas Hendrik Ilves has been a president for 2 terms. It's a long enough time to start looking for shortcomings. And international relations were the clear priority, and indeed, it is a critique on his insufficient interest towards local issues. I do not think it's fair because Ilves was up to now the only president who did a great deal to promote local culture and education. He also succeeded in making small Estonia visible as a European country, not as a former Soviet republic. And also, our new president said in the interview that her priority will be to solve the local conflicts and try to solve the crisis of political trust present in Estonia at the moment. She also mentioned that she will be following the example President Ilves has set in the sphere of international affairs. Her style of communication is more conventional than Ilves's, that's for sure. But it is clear that she will be keeping the same strong ties with the EU and NATO. And the Estonian strategies towards...
Hi, Katja. I'm sorry, but we've had an issue with the sound. Can we go back to my last question and just re-record your response? I'm sorry about this. My technical team just got in touch with me.
Okay.
Great. So again, there was criticism that President Ilves had spent too much time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. President Ilves has been Toomas Hendrik Ilves has been a president of Estonia for 2 terms. It's quite
sorry,
a long...
Katja, before we start, I think there might be an issue with your microphone. You might be touching something, and it's creating some problems on our end.
Okay, maybe,
so just make sure before you respond. Just,
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's perfectly clear now. Okay, great. So now start over your response. Thank you again. Yeah.
Okay. Toomas Hendrik Ilves has been a president for 2 terms. It's 10 years. It's a long time, long enough time to start looking for shortcomings. And international relations were the clear priority, and there indeed is a critique on his insufficient interest towards local issues, especially like social issues. I do not think it is fair because Ilves was up to now the only president who did a great deal to promote local culture and education. And he definitely succeeded in making small Estonia visible as a European country, not as a former Soviet republic. Also, our new president said in the interview that her priority will be to solve the local conflicts and the crisis of political trust. She also mentioned that she will be following the example President Ilves has set in the sphere of international affairs. So Kaljulaid's style of communication is more conventional than Ilves has, that's for sure. But it's clear that she will be keeping some same strong ties with our allies, with the EU and NATO. And Estonian strategies towards Russia will be definitely coordinated with our allies.
So we can't expect any serious change in Estonian foreign policy. It's going to be a continuation.
Maybe in the style of communication, that's what I would expect.
Okay, thank you, Katja, for joining us. This was an interesting discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you.